are you doing? I'm Yoleyne, and today on Holy Guacamole, I'm going to be teaching you how to make some holy guacamole. So here are our ingredients. We've got some massive avocados from the supermercado, and we've got some tomatoes, and a lime, and a jalapeno, and some green onions, and cilantro, and then for the end, we've got salt and olive oil. And so how I'm going to get started, you always want to do the avocado last. That way it doesn't get too mushy. I know some people like their guacamole a little bit like mushier or like mashed up, but the way that I've always learned how to do it is with dicing the avocado into small little bits. So I'm going to start with the tomato, and you want to curve your fingers in rather than have them pointed out, because that puts you at risk of cutting your finger. So we're going to curve our fingers and start to cut. Now I sharpened this knife last night, so it's really sharp. So in case I cut myself, bye. But hopefully I won't. So we're going to cut it across the top like that. Then put it back together. And then we're going to cut it across the middle a few times. These are just regular red tomatoes. They're not Roma or anything. You can also use cherry tomatoes if you want. Some people don't like tomatoes, but to those people, just tell them, why are you eating guacamole? You can also use grape tomatoes if you want. Don't know if I already said that. Okay, so that's one tomato done. So we're just gonna throw it in our bowl. And these are a really good consistency tomato, because you don't want to get one that's too ripe, because if your tomato's too ripe, then it is really mushy and it's impossible to cut. So we're just gonna keep on cutting. Another way that you could cut your tomato is in segments like this. And then once they're cut in segments, you just separate it and cut across the middle like that, and just finely chop it. So as you can see, there's no specific way that you have to cut any of these vegetables. It's just personal preference. When I cut the onions, I am going to cut them pretty small, because I've learned that no one really likes big chunks of onion in their guacamole. But as you can tell, this way does take a little more time. That's okay, because we've got all the time. Go ahead and put that in the bowl. And we're just going to keep on chopping. Now some people do like sort of a creamy guacamole, so I've heard about maybe putting like sour cream in it. But that's more for like a dipping sauce for your chips rather than like a scoopy sauce. So in this one, we're just going to be putting olive oil, because that will smooth it out. Okay. Now this probably seems like a lot of tomatoes, but I'm having a party later, so I gotta please my guests. Okay. Now we're just gonna All right, when we get back, we're going to finish cutting these tomatoes, add the onion, cilantro, avocado, and lime. Thanks, and I'll be here.
Sally decided to treat herself to some new plants for her college dorm, and vowed to give them love and care.
I'm late for class! No time to water my plants today!
But Sally's life proved to be too busy for her plants.
My plants are dead! I can't believe it! How do you keep your plants so healthy?
I just use magic plants.
Our patented scientific pods pump healthy plant food into your plants so they never die.
We love our magic plants!
during the break, I just took the liberty of cutting another tomato. And finally, we are going to get to the last one. I think maybe I'll just use half, because this kind of seems like a lot of tomato at this point. So, slicing through. Then if you want to just give it a quick run through with a knife just to make sure all of it's just really chopped through. So that's it for the tomato. Now we're going to move on to our onion. I'm using green onion, but you can honestly use whatever kind you want. Doesn't really matter. Some people like purple, white, yellow. I'm just using green onions because they're smaller and easier to work with. So we're going to line them all up together, cut off those ends, put them in the trash. And then you also do not want to use all of this green because at a certain end of it, it becomes a little bit bitter. So you want to cut off the ends of those. Then pretty much what you do is you just slice it kind of down the middle. And then you begin chopping. If you don't like onions, some people don't like onions. If you don't like onions, what you could substitute it for is onion powder, because it would still give it that onion taste without giving an overpowering texture or smell of onions. So we're going to throw that in our bowl. All right, and now we're going to move on to our cilantro. This should be plenty of cilantro. I already pre-washed all of these vegetables. You want to make sure to wash your produce when you're getting it from a store because you don't know whose hands have been touching it. Now with cilantro, it's a very easy chop. You just make a ball out of the cilantro. It's kind of the same with like parsley or like bay leaves and stuff like that. Just make a ball and just chop it up. Alrighty, we're going to put that in the bowl, and as you can see, we've got a lot of pretty colors going on right now. So now, one of the most vital steps is our jalapeno. These are hot, so we're not going to use all of it. We are going to make sure to seed it though. I'm going to use half. When working with hot peppers like these, you always want to make sure to wash your hands afterwards, just in case you accidentally touch your face or anything. So the way to seed a jalapeno is you go in like that, and then you just remove it. Go in the middle too. That way you're still getting the flavor of the jalapeno without getting too much heat. So you want this minced fairly well. Another thing you could do is add garlic, or if you don't like garlic, garlic powder. Basically everything you want to add could be found in powder form, except for maybe like powdered avocado. So there we go. There's our jalapeno. Drop it in there. And I will start with one avocado. So this is one giant avocado. Cut it down the middle. All right, look how pretty that avocado is. So we're gonna go like that, take the pit out. Well, we're gonna finish our avocado show next week, so thanks for joining me. Have a good day.